morning, Dubai. This is the Lovin Dubai show with me, Casey.
And me, Masa.
And we go through the top trending stories that everyone across the city is talking about. Our top story, 30-minute EV charging stations will soon roll out across Dubai.
And think twice before leaving those items in your car, Dubai police warns.
Parents take note. Paw Patrol Live is coming. The Great Pirate Adventure is going to hit Etihad Arena and people are excited.
And Dubai influencer puts iPhone and luxury watches to the ultimate safety test.
We're also going to have an interview later, easing back to school stress. We've got Janelle Houston joining us to talk about gentle healing for kids and families.
And today's rapid weather report, it's mostly sunny with temperatures ranging from 34 to 41 Celsius. One more month to go.
It's sticky today.
It's sticky. Yesterday and today, they were hot days. I felt like during the weekend, it was not bad.
Dubai people love to talk about the weather.
Yeah, we love to talk about the weather. But we're almost done, you know. We're 1 month away from this extreme heat and the end of summer.
I think it's been fine.
I'm counting down days. September 24th.
It's been fine.
Last day. It's been fine.
It's been fine.
I swear, last weekend I was walking around in Sirkal with nothing, just had matcha in my hand, and I was walking.
Yeah. For people who have indoor jobs, it's fine.
Yeah.
I want to ask you a question. So there's this noise that's going viral.
Noise.
But I don't want to say anything in case I don't want to offend. So first of all, I'm going to play it for you.
Don't worry, okay? I'm sure the memes, and there is no offense to this. I know what you're going to ask me, but don't worry, nothing offensive.
What is that?
This is like, in my opinion, okay?
I don't want to stop it. Okay, I'll stop.
In my humble opinion, I think this is the worst TikTok audio to ever exist.
You're joking?
Yeah.
There is something so like sonic and meaningful about it. So I hope it's got like a very ethereal...
Excuse me? It's so dumb. Let me tell you, okay? This is exactly what it means. أحلى ليلة أحلى ناس. Best night with the best people. So, best night with the best people. Best night with the best people. That's it. And
that's what it means?
And it keeps repeating. And it keeps repeating. And it keeps repeating. And wouldn't stop.
Sorry.
أحلى ليلة أحلى ناس.
And did it start with his tone?
No, it started with the actual song, okay? And then you have those people that are trying to sing it. Or you have those people that don't speak the Arabic language and they're just trying to sing it. So the TikTok made this twist. أحلى ليلة أحلى ناس. أحلى ليلة أحلى ناس, because they can't pronounce that. أحلى ليلة أحلى ناس.
You should see how I tried to spell it.
Can you try to say it?
أحلى ليلة أحلى ناس. I really tried.
You do not sound Irish right now, but you say that.
أحلى ليلة
أحلى ليلة أحلى ناس.
أحلى ليلة أحلى ناس.
أحلى ليلة. You know what? Let's put... actually, I want this song to be over.
Nas is getting upset.
I don't like listening to this audio, but those memes with the fish, I think it's so funny. Honestly, the أحلى ليلة أحلى ناس.
So this is fine.
Those memes, there are multiple. I'm sure you've seen it all over TikTok, okay? It's just fish. Random fish with this audio on top of it. I don't know what's the correlation and why did they decide it.
I think because the fish is singing it. That's the thing. He's having the best.
أحلى ليلة أحلى ناس.
Yeah, and he's having the best time with the... Someone obviously saw it. You know when you have those moments, you know when you hear a song and it sounds like something else, you can't unhear it. Someone saw that fish sing أحلى ليلة أحلى ناس, and they can't get it out of their heads, and they put it on TikTok, and that's why we love the internet. It's these moments.
God, but this song has become a joke, by the way. Like, I feel bad for the artist because it became a joke. It's everyone's...
Okay, now it's actually funny now. Earlier I thought it was like meaningful. Now I'm like, it's so hilarious.
Yeah, it's becoming like, I don't know. No, I really don't like
it. Look at the fishies.
And it's cute fishies, though.
Cute fishies. Let's jump into our top story of the day. 30-minute EV charging stations will roll out across Dubai. So EV users, electric vehicle users, this is music to your ears. It's an announcement by Parkin, Dubai's leading paid public parking facility. They've joined up with Charging Co, which is a core arm of E and Etihad. It's a 10-year partnership, and it will mean they're dropping 200 ultra-fast charging stations. Before we get into the details, if anyone is an EV user, can you tell us what a regular length of time for charging your car is? Because 30 minutes sounds quite fast.
Right, it sounds so quick. Scheduled for a launch in October 2025, the new charging network will cut EV charging times to under 30 minutes. You'll find the facilities at key destinations across Dubai, from high-density residential communities to major retail and leisure hubs. I feel like we already have this in Malta, don't we?
Yeah,
but this will be quicker,
there are
basically.
some, but 30 minutes
is a very short time.
Quite quick. Phase 1 of the EV charging initiative will see 20 stations in some of the city's busiest locations. Over the subsequent 12 months, the programme will deliver 200 public and private charging points. How long does a regular?
You know, I don't know if I can be an electric car owner, by the way.
Why?
Because if I forget to charge my phone, best believe I'm going to forget to charge it.
Yeah, but that's like saying, what if I forget to put petrol in my car?
But I can stop at any petrol station.
Yeah, but how would you get there? You have to remember.
Because you get the alarm, you know? You will get alarm with electric cars.
So a home charging, correct me if I'm wrong, this is ChatGPT, takes 6 to 10 hours.
Wow.
Public
So
charging
overnight.
takes 4 to 8 hours. And when you consider that, you're thinking a car is taking that space for 4 to 8 hours and therefore no one else can get in. So if they're promising 30-minute charges, that's a super quick turnaround time.
Very quick, yeah. Just go and grab your coffee and then you're done.
And then there are ultra-fast. So they're introducing ultra-fast. That's going to make EV cars much more attractive to people who have EV cars.
Do you want to be an electric car owner?
Yeah, I like the idea of hybrid.
Same, I like it too. But I'm always scared. I don't know why. It always scares me. Like every time I try to think of getting an electric car or maybe considering switching to an electric car, I don't know why I hear those comments of people saying, no, it won't be sustainable in the heat. But I feel like it's going fine. Look at the roads nowadays. Most of the cars on the roads are electric cars. People are switching to electric cars more than regular or hybrid at least.
Yeah, I think there's been a big shift, and most car manufacturers developed EV cars. But I think it's about having a charging station in your home.
Yeah.
So
I can avoid those petrol runs, you know.
Yeah, but I park on a public street. I live in an apartment block, so it's not feasible.
Not feasible.
Unless there's
inside this residential building.
Yeah, unless my building had and the building that I decide to live in for the rest of my life has a parking station, or I buy a home and I could buy one. Because I think over time, imagine not having to pay for petrol ever,
It's
and you
cheaper.
it's much
cheaper
if you have the system. So if residential buildings introduce these super fast, or I lived near a super fast charging station, that would be a game changer. But at this moment in life, I don't, so it's not ideal.
But I think in a few years, we will start to have those electric charging banks in residential buildings, because electric cars are becoming more and more common on the roads.
I think so. And I think the big gap is for people who live in apartments.
True. I think this is where the struggle is. But it's much cheaper if you have an electric car, because you have to avoid paying petrol. Yeah. You know, and those annoying petrol stops.
I use Cafu a lot, and when I don't, there's a petrol near me, and when you go to get your car washed, every single time it's a 4-car wait.
But yeah.
Can we talk about washing your car, by the way? Is that the same everywhere, or is it just the place near me?
I think it's because of the timing, you know. I prefer to go on the weekends very early in the morning when there is no one.
I go at all hours. I went on a Friday night.
A Friday night, obviously.
And it was busy.
Obviously it's going to be busy on Friday night.
People should be out, not cleaning their cars on a Friday night. What?
Then why are you washing your car on a Friday night?
Because I am a sad person who's washing my car on a Friday
exactly,
night. But I was like, surely I'm going to be the only person here. It's going to be delightful. And it was even busier. Wow. Is it every petrol station, or is it just the one I go to?
The one you go to, the one in production city, is always busy, by the way. I noticed that. It's always busy.
Always busy. There's always 3 cars every single time I drive past it.
Every time when I'm leaving home, I always find it super busy. Even in the morning, it's busy. But at the same time, I feel like it really depends on the timing. So if you go after 7, always full.
Okay.
And I feel like in the evening also it's full.
Okay, early doors is the new plan for washing the car.
Casey's onto something. Yeah.
Always, Yusuf, always. Our next story of the day, we're also talking cars again.
Yes, so think twice before leaving those items in your car. Dubai police warns with UAE summer temperatures crossing 50 Celsius. Dubai police is reminding residents to take extra care with items left inside vehicles. So authorities warn that pressurized items like lighters, perfumes, deodorant sprays, batteries, and fizzy drinks can easily overheat and explode, posing serious risks to safety and property.
Fizzy drinks?
It can explode, yeah.
Dubai police highlighted that cars parked under the sun can actually reach temperatures of 70 degrees Celsius or more, turning them into dangerous traps for such items. Beyond explosions, these items can also trigger incidents such as fires, burns, or toxic fumes.
So officials strongly advise residents to never leave flammable or pressurized items in cars during summer. So store drinks and perfumes in cooler, shaded places. Check vehicles before locking up. And
the reminder comes as part of Dubai Police's broader summer safety campaign aimed at reducing accidents caused by heat-related negligence. This was reshared this week. We are coming to the end of the summer, but it's a stark reminder that, yes, leaving fizzy drinks in your car can cause damages. So be careful.
Yes, be careful. Even God forbid anything bad happens or like causing fumes or fires, but at the same time they can melt. So if you're leaving water bottles, for example, it's not healthy for you as well. If you're leaving those drinks in the car, it's not healthy for your body as well because you're taking those intoxicated items, like burns. Not burns, sorry, like melted packaging.
Fibers.
Yeah, melted packaging and fibers. So food, also like this, and this is aside from inflatable items like food, drinks, don't leave them in the car. And if you leave them in the car, I think it's best to...
just throw them out. It's like being like, would you leave your anything in this super hot thing and think it was okay? Like you just wouldn't, because it's just not going to survive in that heat. And the fact that it can get up to 70 degrees Celsius, oh my gosh. Let's think about all of the cool indoor things we can do in future, such as
PAW Patrol is coming live. The Great Pirate Adventure hits Etihad Arena. So Abu Dhabi Family's Adventure Bay is coming to life in PAW Patrol Live, the Great Pirate Adventure at Etihad Arena, Yas Island from August 29th to 31st, 2025. So presented by Nickelodeon and V-Star Entertainment Group, this brand new show brings Ryder and his heroic pups, Chase, Marshall, Rubble, Sky, Rocky, Zuma, and the newest pup, Tracker, to the stage for an action-packed pirate quest filled with catchy music, lively dance routines, and interactive moments that will have the whole family joining in.
In case you don't know the story, it kicks off with Mayor Goodway preparing Adventure Bay's big Pirate Day celebration. However, Captain Turbot gets trapped in a cavern and sneaky Mayor Humdinger tries to steal the hidden treasure for Foggy Bottom. The Paw Patrol must work together to save the day. Sounds magical. With Broadway-style production, pirate catchphrases, lively performances, and a thrilling new storyline never before seen in the capital, this high-energy live experience is a must for every Paw Patrol fan.
So showtimes are Friday, August 29th at 5:30 p.m., Saturday, August 30th at 11 a.m., 2:30 p.m. and 6 p.m. So 3 shows on Saturday, and Sunday, August 31st at 11 a.m. and 2:30 p.m. Tickets start at just 95 dirhams, available now on etihadarena.ae and platinumlist.net.
So from the music to the mystery, this is the ultimate way for both kids and parents to experience the magic of Paw Patrol live on stage. I have nieces and nephews that love Paw Patrol. Anytime I'm like, do you want a present? They're like, Paw Patrol. I'm like, I don't know. Yeah, so you have to get all the characters. So this will be super exciting. So get your tickets before they sell out. It's indoors, and I'm sure you'll love every second. Let's jump into our next story. The Lovin Dubai Community Champion Awards and the nominees are in for today. We're super excited about today's category. But just to give you a little rundown of what is going on in case you've missed the shows in the last few days. So the Lovin Dubai Community Awards 2025 is here, and our plan is to celebrate the extraordinary achievements of people in this city. The people have been narrowed down to specific categories. You can see there beside us the Lovin Feed favourite. And you can vote on our website. We've got more than 2,000 votes already in. And it's super exciting to see the community then get out and start sharing their favorite people and trying to drum up the votes for them.
Or like, because I think people are just thankful that we're recognizing those people also. But I love the voting process. I love to see what's winning. I love to see who's going to the top. I love to see like what's the categories that's the best or people are more excited about. And so what's the highest that we've got so far?
Let me check. So at the moment, with all the categories, the category that's getting the most attention is the charitable act category.
I'm so happy the charitable act is the top.
I
think we post about them all the time. Those people that are giving back to community, and I think recognizing them in the public eye, like giving them awards and giving them some spotlight that they really do deserve, I think is really important. So I'm so happy that people are jumping in and voting and are taking this as important as we are. So I think people are super excited. Just get your votes in. There are so many categories to check out. We're putting the votes every day. So really check it out. What's your favorite?
I think I've got a soft spot for all. I couldn't say a favorite. But I think you're right in that these people, in terms of charity act, they've done something really impressive this year in terms of giving back. Probably the last thing they want is praise and attention and award for it, but there you go.
But this is our thank you.
They deserve it. And then so you can see all of the votes on our category voting hub, which is lovin.co/Lovins. But what we're doing is we're also drip dropping the announcements day by day on our Lovin brand page. Lovin_brand_, and also on the Lovin Dubai Instagram feed. So you can see it in both places. And today we're kind of really giving attention to the Community Champion Award, which is really special. We've got kind of motivational speakers, the founder of an amazing sustainable charitable giving founder of Thrift for Good. So sustainable fashion. She's really, really great. Someone who's got an apartment for stray cats in town.
Oh,
amazing story.
Amazing stories.
Shabika Carlos, she's an advocate for wheelchair ramps.
We don't hear about them enough. We need to hear.
True.
They need to be all over our feeds. And this is coming back to the boycott story, the unfollowed celebrity stories.
Why?
Because people are like, this is the type of content that we want to consume and see on our feed.
But the problem is, then they continue to talk about the boycott and give that attention. It's like you want to shout out these stories, but people love negative
You know
stories.
what? I feel like if you want to find a specific type of content, it's easy to search for it. You can find it. The internet is open for everyone. You want a specific type of content, you can have your algorithm be based on that. You can play around with it.
So true, actually. Yeah, so true. Because I haven't seen much of the boycott, to be honest.
So is it?
But it is Arabic. Primarily, that's why I haven't.
True.
Maybe.
But like, as if you don't like their type of content, it's kind of your problem because that's your algorithm because you're interacting with those content. But if you don't interact with it, you want content of essence, you need to interact with such content anyways.
Voting is open until September 11th. We're having a big awards night to celebrate all of these amazing individuals. So get more information on the Lovin Dubai website. Let's jump into our next story. We're talking safety in Dubai. Once again, a Dubai influencer puts iPhone and luxury watches to the ultimate safety test in Dubai. So do not try this at home, by the way. I just want to give that warning because too often I think people are doing copycats of this. But an influencer left an iPhone, a Richard Mille watch and a Rolex out in public for 2 hours. You can see the video. He's basically trying to prove to his friends the safety bubble that we live in Dubai. So he asks them to put down kind of expensive things. So a Richard Mille watch, I'm assuming, is quite expensive.
So, and a Rolex?
Which is a Richard Mille watch.
And a Rolex? This is the thing. I feel like we always talk about the safety in Dubai, and we started getting used to that safety in Dubai. It's something that's literally part of our days. But as if you asked me leave something valuable just to put it to the test, I would never.
No, I would never. Sorry, I'm just seeing.
How much does it cost?
Yeah, there was me thinking, it said like so I thought it was like 1,300 dirham. I was like, okay, it's 1.4 million dirham.
Whoa.
Seriously? You're leaving a 1.4 million dirham?
1.4 million dirham just to test the safety in Dubai?
To prove it. I mean, yes, Dubai police are legends, but that's risky.
That's so risky and...
I don't want to be the person that tests it and then...
I freak out if I forgot something. Although I know the city is so safe, I know no one's going to take it, and I know if I checked safe, the what was it called? It slipped my mind. You know when those areas when they have lost and found, sorry. I know if I check lost and found, I'm gonna find it there, but I freak out. But for you to intentionally leave 1.4 million...
Maybe it's just for views.
Do you think someone is watching?
Yeah.
It's like sitting over there to make sure no one is passing.
Gotta be just for views.
Yeah, it's just for views.
Just for views.
Yeah.
However, any content that kind of sends the good messages of Dubai, we are here for.
Yeah. Someone said they miss walking down the streets and not having to watch my back. Yeah, that's so true.
That's the thing.
That's so true. I think we just take it for granted, by the way. Really, like coming back home late at night without having to look back or not having to worry.
Or just having 100%. That's the key thing. Being a woman walking alone, being a woman living alone, coming home in a taxi at 3 a.m, not worrying. Forgetting a laptop in a taxi after a busy day. You know when you're having like the worst day, super duper tired, and obviously you're forgetting things because you're not thinking about them. And then cherry on top of the cake, you've lost your laptop. Not here. And it's such a blessing. And the taxi driver generally comes back.
Yeah, generally comes back, or you can just call the service and you'll have it back. They always put it in lost and found.
I think you have like 3 instances that I've had to use that. One of our stories of community heroes in the Lovin Awards is a taxi driver who found 1 million dirham, 1 million in cash, and he gave that back. Well, of course he did, but...
Of course he did. It was 1 million.
But someone left it. Okay, it's bang on time. It's 8:50 on Wednesday morning. It means it's time to introduce our guest. We're going to talk about easing back to school stress, healing for both kids and families. Her name is Janelle Houston. She'll be with us after this very short break. Do stay tuned. Hey guys, welcome back to the Lovin Dubai show. Today's guest is Janelle Houston, a Dubai-based craniosacral therapist and energy healer. Janelle helps families and children navigate stress, anxiety and emotional challenges through gentle, holistic therapies. She's here to share her insights on how we can support our children during tricky transitions like back to school, spot hidden signs of stress and also bring balance and calm to our busy lives. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here. So let's start it off by asking, what is craniosacral therapy?
Yeah, some people call it craniosacral and some say craniosacral, so it's a bit confusing, but it's the same thing. It has roots in osteopathy, so basically it's a very gentle touch therapy. When somebody comes for a session with me, it would involve lying on a massage table. I would hold their ankles, their sacrum, their back, neck and shoulders. And if there's any points of pain, we can also go to those areas as well. Basically what we're doing, we're connecting with the nervous system. So nervous system regulation is such a big thing at the moment, but we are helping the person's nervous system go from fight or flight, where we have things like anxiety, issues with anger, overwhelm, burnout, bringing it back down into rest and digest where we should be most of the time.
Yeah. How do you get into something like this?
My son.
Oh.
So my son, bless his heart, he was a very difficult baby. He cried all the time. And the only time he wasn't screaming in the car was after these sessions. But it was with an osteopath. So I assumed you had to be an osteopath to do the training. And then when I discovered actually anybody could do it, I thought, okay, I want to be able to support families in the way that I've been supported. Because I think we all think that we have to live with anxiety or we have to maybe live with our anger issues, and we really don't. Yeah.
So what are common signs or hidden signs within children or adults that are storing stress or anxiety?
So the biggest thing with children with anxiety is stomach ache. If you've got a child that's constantly telling you they've got stomach ache, I had a lovely lady that started with me with her daughter last week, and she was convinced her daughter had indigestion, especially when she had milk. Literally, they did one session with me, and the next time I saw them, she said, she had milk this morning and nothing, it's emotional. So with adults, it's maybe having problems switching your mind off, difficulty falling asleep, difficulty staying asleep as well. Yeah.
So if I were to visit you and I had a stress or anxiety problem, what would be a kind of a course or process that we would take? How does it work? What does it look like?
Yeah, okay, so what I generally recommend people do is to come and do one session. It's really important for me that there's a connection between me and the person. You know, if somebody recommends a therapist and you go, if you don't connect with that therapist, you're not going to feel safe. So I always suggest that somebody come and do one session with me. We'll go through all of your history. I will explain how I work. Then we see how you feel. Then what my recommendation is, we do a package of 5. So basically they'll come once a week for 5 weeks as much as possible. Why? Coming and doing one session is a little bit like going to the gym and expecting your dream body. Sadly, it doesn't work like that, right? So when your nervous system is stuck in survival mode, this is where your nervous system feels safe, even if it's uncomfortable. So by doing regular sessions in the beginning, we're training the nervous system to be comfortable here. Yeah.
So should this be the first basically route to take before going to a normal doctor, maybe trying holistic healing?
I mean, I'm very much into holistic, so for me, if I can avoid any medicine, antibiotics, I will always try a more natural route. What I would say is when I was younger, you guys are younger than me, but we would focus so much on the physical health. We had the days of jazzercise and aerobics and whatnot. Now we still focus on the physical, but we also now talk about the emotional and the mental side. What we're not talking enough about is the energetic side. So when somebody comes to see me for a session, especially a child, I'll draw a little stick man and an energy bubble, a bubble around them, and explain to them that all day, every day, we're picking up other people's emotions and energies. And then it's a little bit like a Coke bottle when you fizz it and you don't take the lid off. So I explain to kids in the sessions with me, we're just slowly taking that lid off to let things be released.
So let's, I guess, speak specifically about kids because it is back to school season. So what are some early signs that parents could look out for that their kids might be feeling anxious? So you mentioned stomach aches, but is there kind of any other telltales that they can look for?
For sure. So definitely stomach ache. It can be constantly asking questions, you know, like kids will, it's the same as adults when we don't know what's going to happen. Like my kids, for example, still don't know who their teacher is. So every day my son's asking me, so it's taking the time to answer their questions. But if you notice there's a lot of questions, it could be that they start taking longer to go to sleep in the evening. My daughter, when she's feeling a little bit more anxious, she will take more time to wind down in the evening. They might even start to be off their food a little bit as well. That can indicate things are just feeling a bit unsettled.
So what are gentle therapies that adults can do to help their children and ease them with the stress?
So the biggest thing for me is that we, as at the age that I'm at, we were not taught as children how to regulate our emotions. Now we've got this generation of children that we're trying to help them regulate their emotions when we don't know how to do it. So the biggest thing, and I give it to every single one of my children and every single one of the adults that come to me, is an exercise to help to connect to the emotions. And it is so simple. It's basically naming the emotion. So for example, if I have a child coming to me who has a lot of anxiety, I will ask them to name the emotion. Okay, it's anxiety. Where do you feel that in the body? Mostly it's the stomach, sometimes it can be the chest, and it can be everywhere. Then depending on the age, if the child's a bit older, I'll say, what's the intensity out of 10? How strong is that? For a younger child, I wouldn't go into that because that's a little bit, deep for them. Then I'll ask them, what colour does the anxiety feel like? Then what is the texture? Then I explain to them, with emotions, we are taught to basically, like if you think about it as a child at school, if the teacher says something and they feel worried, they're just going to push that worry down. They can't express it in that moment. So by even doing that exercise in their head, I'll tell them, imagine a cloud in the sky. The cloud never stops moving. You see the cloud rolling in and then rolling over. And it's the same with emotions. There's a famous saying that I love, and it's name it to tame it.
So nice. Interesting. So interesting. You mentioned at the beginning there's also kind of touch involved. So how does that work in terms of finding the energy that you're trying to, I guess, tame?
So basically, with the training I've done, we are taught to come into what we call SOBA. SOBA stands for State of Balanced Awareness. I am a very spiritual person, so I really see that as, I don't know if you know the term, becoming one with the universe. It's an expanded state. So what happens is with anxiety, we're sort of up in the survival mode. For people, if they connect to God, if they connect to trees, whatever it might be, it could be connecting to your family, whatever makes you feel rooted, that's that sense of safety, and that's what we're trying to instill. So when I bring my nervous system into that place, it's about co-regulation. It's allowing their nervous system to feel safe to do the same. As the nervous system regulates, their nervous system in their body will release subconsciously, they're not even aware most of the time, any stored trauma, any suppressed emotions.
So I feel like people are becoming more and more open to holistic healings, but I'm sure there's still some skepticism. So what is the biggest myth you've heard about holistic healing? Maybe from parents, maybe from people around you?
The biggest myth, I mean, there's so many myths, isn't there? And I think it's, for me, the biggest joy I get is particularly men, they're much more in their logical mind. I've had a lot of clients send their husbands who walk in, I'm here because my wife sent me. And then when they walk out, because you can imagine, if you come in and watch me doing a session, the person's lying on the bed and I'm just got my hands on them, it does look strange, you know? Yeah. But the power, and the thing is, like I say, it's all about co-regulation. If you think about, okay, there's some people when they have a problem, they like to be alone. But for the most part, even just sitting with a friend and having a coffee, if that friend is in a good, calm place, it just helps you to calm down.
Yeah, interesting.
But I'd find it difficult to pick one myth that people, you know, because it's really just that perception of this is woo-woo. But actually, it's scientific. And with cranial, what we're working with, it's the body's innate intelligence to return to health. So I'll always say to people, if you chop the top of your finger off, of course, if you stop the flow of blood, the body's going to work to heal itself. If you break a leg and you live in the jungle, break a bone in the leg, the bone's going to heal. You might have pain for the rest of your life, you might walk with a limp for the rest of your life, but ultimately your body is always trying to return to health. So when we have a dysregulated nervous system, and let's say we have anxiety, there's so much energy from the nervous system in the body going to that anxiety rather than healing the body. So that's what we're working with.
Interesting. For someone, I guess, who's watching today and maybe they're feeling stuck emotionally, mentally, what's one maybe small shift or practice that they could do at home to maybe just reduce the heaviness?
So the one is that I mentioned, that's super powerful. Another one that I really love is a breathing technique, and they say it's one of the quickest ways to calm the nervous system, which is an inhale through the nose twice and a steamy exhale through the mouth once. And if you do that 10 times, so what I'll say to people is, try not to wait to the moment where everything's here. You know, the more, so I'll say to my adult clients, for example, every time you come to a red light, do that breathing exercise. Every time you can, connect to the emotion and what you're feeling. Another thing that I like as well is, you know, getting the movement flowing. So let's say, for example, you're at home, something's happened, you're feeling a little bit angry. One exercise I love is lying on a bed, as long as you're comfortable, and like a toddler, have a toddler tantrum on the bed, scream, you know, and
really?
it's because I was speaking to a little girl this week, and she, I mean, kids amaze me, they're so much smarter than us adults, and she said she'll often scream into a pillow, which is amazing, but if you take it up a level and also more somatically move the body, it gets the energy flowing. Then I also love to add, what's something that you're grateful for? 3 things. So for some people, some days it feels like we've got nothing to be grateful for. Maybe there's a lot of negativity going on. It could be as simple as, you know, there's food in my fridge, there's a roof over my head, it's sunny every day in Dubai. You know, it doesn't need to be anything major.
You have to be grateful, basically.
Yeah. However, I'm not about toxic positivity. So if it's, you know, today I'm feeling grateful for my kids and they're driving me crazy, of course I'm still grateful for them, but keep it real, you know, and I think it's, by doing that emotional exercise, I'm really angry, I feel it everywhere in my body, it's a 50 out of 10, it's black, it's sticky, doing the breathing, but then saying, but I'm grateful, you know, that I've got my friends around me, I live in a great city, and like that. So it's that balance. I don't agree with feeling terrible and then just doing gratitude. I feel like that's not enough.
So are you in support of those positive affirmations, of telling yourself positive affirmations to the mirror, repeating them every morning?
Yeah, I mean, it's not something that I give my clients, not because I don't agree with it. But, and again, what I would say is, you know, it's all about authenticity for me. So if that connects with somebody, do that. If gratitude connects with you, do that. But don't do something because one coach or one healer or somebody had a good experience, you know.
And why is breath work so powerful?
The thing is, everybody who comes to me with anxiety are not breathing. So I had a lady call me on Saturday, an emergency. She came for her first session on Sunday. She has been in hospital. She thought she was having a heart attack. And I was just about to say to her to do this breathing, the exercise, the in for two and out for one, because a lot of the time I'll get them to do that on the bed. Just as I was about to say it, she said, I'm not breathing. You know, so her breathing's so shallow. So if you are somebody that anxiety is something that comes up a lot, breathe. Connect to your breath as much as possible. And it just, when I touch somebody's system who has anxiety, it's almost like they're not in their body and they're up here. When you bring them to breath, they drop back down into their body and they actually get heavier on the table, but they feel more grounded and they're more here.
So is it might come off as a personal question, but is it normal for someone to feel more anxious after the first session?
Can do. Yeah. Sorry, carry on.
No, it's okay. And you just need to follow up and continue with that route because, for example, if you go to sound healing, for some it might be too worrying or too, because you're sitting in a place where you have to be calm, you have to connect with your mind, and basically negative thoughts may come up, and multiple people might try to avoid that all completely.
100%. I see what you mean. So sometimes with people who are maybe more anxious, going to a group setting also can be hard because as well, if you're more sensitive to energy, people are going to group sound healing to shed. So that's number one. When you're coming to see me, it's one-on-one, so it's a little bit more a sense of safety, I would say as well. But so if I have somebody who's very anxious, I will say to them, do you want to talk during the session or would you rather be quiet? Because for somebody who's very anxious and you know an overthinker, an over-worrier, if I say, okay, sit quietly now, their mind just spirals. So what I find, if I have somebody that starts with me that's very anxious, the first session will talk almost the full session. But what I'll notice is by the last 10-15 minutes, they're kind of dropping in and then they start to allow themselves to relax. Then as we do the series of sessions every time, and then by the end, they're quiet for the session. They're able to just, it's not even, this is why I like cranial when people say, I need to stop thinking, I need to stop worrying, I need to stop being anxious. If your nervous system is dysregulated, it's not as easy as that. Yeah.
Before you leave us, is there maybe a powerful client story, not personally obviously, that you could share?
I mean, I have so many, but I think one of the ones that really stick out for me is I started working with a little girl. So last summer when she was 4, she thought she saw a shark in the sea, as a lot of us do when we're little. I used to always think there was a shark in my pool because there was a dolphin logo at the bottom. But anyway, the trauma was so much for her, she then had a stutter. So for 12 months, her mum and dad were taking her for lots of different therapies. And then they were recommended to come to me. And I said to them, sometimes cranial can make things a little bit worse before better. I would say 90 to 95% after the first session it gets better, but we can have that. After the first session, the stutter was worse than it had ever been. But then every single week, the stutter got better and better and better. And then after 5 sessions, maybe 7, completely gone. Amazing. But in the time that because I was away for a month in the summer, the little girl had anger coming up. And I said to the mum, this is good because she's been suppressing her emotions. It's hard for you guys as the parents and she's like throwing shoes everywhere. But she came back to see me after me coming back on Sunday and the mum messaged me and said, oh, she said she feels so much better, you know. But I don't want people to need me forever. So by doing the regular sessions, training the nervous system to feel safe here, the idea is then you're good to go.
If people have questions for you, they want to get in touch, how can they do so?
Okay, you can catch me on _ Janelle Houston, and then my company is the Tree of Hope.
Janelle, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much, ladies.
Thank you, Masa.
Thank you, Casey.
And that is the end of the Lovin Dubai show on this Wednesday morning. We'll see you back here tomorrow morning, same time, same place. Have a beautiful day. Bye-bye.